Hi friends, it's Cindy. I am here today at the Print Expo and Fair in Oakville, Ontario, and I just wanted to share with you some of these incredible printing presses. They're so beautiful. This is at the Howard Ironworks Printing Museum, and these presses are just incredible. There's a workshop going on behind me here, so I can only turn this direction and not get the folks on camera who have not consented to be on camera. But yeah, I just wanted to show this to you because it's so beautiful. I think one of the signatures of these presses is this beautiful bird on top, but look at this pink one. It's so different, right? So now I'm just over here looking at all of these these are all like printing blocks. Look at these cabinets. Oh my goodness, they're so nice. There's all those wooden rulers and all sorts of lovely textures of tools, and just a lot of beauty here. And here we have a cabinet that is Encyclopedia Britannica. And I'll just kind of wander down here so that you guys can see this. Look at this. So lovely. These cabinets are all just filled with beautiful things. Look at this writing. Hello friends. Okay, so I wanted to share with you my haul from the day at the Howard Ironworks Printing Museum, the Print Expo and Fair in Oakville, Ontario, which is part of Culture Days for 2022. This was so much fun. We had a great time. There were a bunch of workshops. I didn't do any of them, but I did get to see them kind of happening, and it looked really fun. Just small groups, really inexpensive, like $20-ish or something to take part. I liked that it was really kind of accessible and affordable for everyone. I would say that the program here they've done for the vendors that were there, the exhibitors, I mean, this is so nice. I've taken part in so many shows, and I'm guessing because this is like a paper-based event, right, that they're very paper oriented. So like to see a program like this, I've been in so many shows for like ever, and I've never seen a program like this outside of like a gallery show that I've done. So yeah, this is really nice. I really had a great time here. These were great vendors. I've got all my stuff that I got here. I'm really interested in learning more about the Canadian Bookbinders and Book Artists Guild, or Cabbage as they call themselves. I've got some flyers from them. I think I will be checking that out. I've been in so many guilds in my creative sort of history, like spinning guilds, pottery guilds, and now I feel like where I'm, delving a lot more into paper, that this could be something kind of fun for me. So I'll see. I saw this Express Art, this artist, Xavier Peterson, doing lino cuts on beautiful Japanese kozo paper, beautiful lino cuts. Flycatcher Press, I saw them. George Hill and Co. I got something from them. They're in Milton, and they make really beautiful tools. I could have definitely fallen down a rabbit hole of buying a lot of tools, and like my credit card would have been very sad, but I didn't do it. I was actually quite good, I have to say. I was under budget today. I did pretty decently. Then George Walker Books and Art was there. Illustrator, I did see his work. Grace Notes Press of Burlington. Lots of journals and paper, I believe, or possibly just journals. Caitlin Hollander Art. I did see her. She's super cool and funny. I followed her on Instagram. Her work's really nice. Very like hard-hitting, and she's young and like really funny and sarcastic, and I just got a really great vibe from her. I liked her a lot. And then Mackenzie Printery were there as well. The Paper Trail Handmade Paper. This is where I got most of my purchases today. This was like the cutest couple. Like they met through paper making, and they do handmade paper and marbling together, and like they're the sweetest people. They're so cute. I liked them a lot. Pomegranate Letterpress and Design were there. It was nice to see them. Their work was really cool. They had us a lot of letterpress related stuff for sale, like beautiful like fonts, all the metal like letters and stuff. The Porcupine's Quill was there. I did see them. They're a artisanal publisher that like they publish books with just beautiful covers that they, you know, design and bind and all of that. Really beautiful books. I somehow didn't pick up a book. I was like trying to behave myself. Raven Press of Guelph, Ontario. I did see that printmaker. Totem Works Papermaking from Welland. I did pick up some of their paper. And Beverly Allen of Hamilton, Ontario. She's like a jelly printer. She looks like she does some eco printing on silk scarves. And there was a bake sale, and it was for the Lighthouse for Grieving Children and Families. I made a donation, and I also bought some of their cookies, which were amazing, like shortbreads with Toblerone and Terry's Chocolate Orange and Mexican hot chocolate spicy yummy cookies. So yeah, I was super happy with everything going on. So let's just dive into it. So this is a poster I was just handed for free. Marshville Heritage Festival calendar. And so there's all these like huge letterpresses there, obviously, and they make these, you know, kind of large papers, right? So this is their next printed on an 1894 Whitlock flatbed press, maintained and operated by the Mackenzie Printery and Newspaper Museum. And so they're in Queenston, Ontario. So I guess next year in 2023, they're having their festival. So something to kind of keep your eye on if you are in that area. All right, let's just kind of start digging and I'll tell you what is what here. Okay, so remember how I said there was the place that sold the tools? Maybe I will keep the vendor catalog handy here so I can tell you where I got this from in case you're interested. So this is from GeorgeHillCo.com, George Hill & Co. of Milton, Ontario. This is a brass triangle with a handle. So like, if you're not sure what you would use that for, let me show you something. I'll just grab this random book from my stash here. So like you're pressing your end papers, okay. This is probably a really bad example, but let's say I just pressed this end paper. Well, let's do it super professional, beautiful, and flatten it out amazingly with this baby. And then they had a larger one too, you know, so if you were doing larger books. Okay, let me get this out of my way, hold on. Okay, so I just really liked that as just a practical, nice little tool. They also had really nice glue brushes. They had all sorts of like bone folders, all sorts of like binding thread, like flosses, wax, like all sorts of everything you could want bookbinding. But I was good. I was good. Okay, so next is, so this is something that I got that was printed on one of the printers there, the large printing machines. I just really fell in love with that. Isn't it beautiful? And all the different presses had like some plate on it, and then just a whole stack of different things that you could take if you wanted. So I liked that one, so I grabbed it. I didn't want to get like, you know, greedy or anything, but I grabbed that one. And then this, actually, this elephant is one that, I do this one? Hold on. I have to see what bag this is. No, okay, so I'll show you these. These 3 prints, actually my daughter did these, my 5-year-old. So the people at the Howard Ironworks Printing Museum, they were doing like, you know, assisted kind of demos of their it's a certain kind of machine. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think Phillips and Cow or something. It has like a large round kind of metal sphere, not sphere, flat metal plate. It's round, and you put your ink on that, and then you pull this handle, and these rollers come up and spread it evenly, and then you pull the handle all the way down. Once you insert your paper, it flips your paper, it presses it, and then you have this beautiful print. So this is one that my daughter did, and the people there were so nice. Like, they really loved having her there, I think, and they were very kind to her. And she did this one. So this is a design from 1929, and this is a design from 1955. And then this is so cool. So this is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing, 1969 to 2019. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Neil Armstrong, July 20th, 1969. So as you probably have seen, if I was able to get my videos together that I took there, there's a ton of history in that building. Turn of the century letterpress equipment and like all sorts, right? So this was the original design that they made for the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. And my daughter printed this coaster, and it says "Fly me to the moon," and it has this moon and this astronaut here. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was really, really encouraged to bring her to such a place, and she really enjoyed herself. All right, so now let's move on to the next thing here. This white bag. I'm not going to go in any particular order here. Okay, so this is paper that is made from newspaper and comic books, and it came from Totem Works Paper Making of Welland, Ontario. And it's really cool. It's still quite granular. It's got some, you can still see bits of text. And I grabbed one that you could still see like a bit of the comic book in, the newspaper comic. Very, very fun papers. There's like a little face. Yeah, so I grabbed 5 of those. Pop that back in the bag. And then I think this is just the printing that I did. So I also printed my own elephant here. Whoops, just give me one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Then I picked up a couple other things. Okay, so this is from the Porcupine's Quill. This was one of the vendors. The Porcupine's Quill. Oh yeah, that was that book publisher. I was pretty interested in them, but I didn't pick anything up today, but I want to go back and look. This is from the Mackenzie Printery and Newspaper Museum. It's a little coaster. And then this is from Cabbage, the Book Binders Guild, Book Artist Guild. They do workshops, fine binding, artist books, paper engineering, box making, paper decorating, calligraphy, fine printing, and restoration. So pretty cool. And this is the Cabbage's latest magazine. So they do like a published little magazine about their, so these are their contributors, their community, interviews with different chapter members, the artistry of Art Deco. So they do like, different features, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got me quite interested. Books and the Body, Creating an Artist's Book. Malcolm Island Retreat. That looks really cool. Look at this book. It's like made from driftwood. Oh, yes. Deborah Francis and Sue Gordon, Eco Dyeing. Yeah, so this looks like a rabbit hole to me. Definitely, like, I feel like I'm embarking like I embarked on, yarn and spinning and all of those things, and I'm just touching the surface of where I could go in paper. So anyways, these are all this paper is from, oh here, the paper trail. So first I'll show you the other stuff, and we'll go through that little bag. So this is all from the paper trail. I should tell you more about them before we go on. So they are in New Dundee, Ontario. I'm not exactly sure where that is. I'm guessing it's in the Kitchener-Waterloo kind of area because they have a 519 area code. So probably they're not far from there. So I started and I grabbed some of these little teal sheets because I just loved the color, and there's a bit of variance, like you can see the varied colors of teal. They've got some sparkly little sequins and stuff in them. So I grabbed some of those. I grabbed 2 sheets of each of these, so like pinks and yellows, and then blues and greens. Then these folks also marble paper, so I grabbed a couple, like they had a whole bunch of patterns, so I grabbed this one because I was just like, what, that's amazing. And then I grabbed this one, and it was really interesting because this one attracted my eye. I've done a lot of paper marbling, but I was like, what is this, right? It looks so different. So they told me this one was actually a mistake because where they were working, they had hard water and it didn't allow the paint to flow. So you see how it's crackled and separated? It didn't flow in this kind of, you know, manner where it looks almost like oil on water. And I was like, well, that is what we call a Bob Ross happy accident, because that is amazing. I love it. So then, excitingly enough, they were selling the cut off end scraps of all of the paper they had there. They had this pile of it just sitting on top, and I was probably one of the first active like customers at the show today. So they were like selling these for $1 each. I said, I will take the whole stack, thank you. And then I was like, oink, oink, and I took all of them. So I'm sorry to anyone who may have wanted these, but they're mine. I don't usually do that, but like $1, come on, look at that. And for what I will use these things for, how very perfect. So as I was drooling over every single piece of paper there that was marbled all beautifully, I wanted to buy all of them, but it would have cost me a fortune. Look at that. Ugh. So this is the next best thing. I got everything, but just a little bit of everything, which is really all I need because, you know, I'm just going to use these for artsy bits and bobs. Like the big ones I'll probably use for journal end papers or like pages, but you know, these will be amazing on tags and ephemera, and you know, you can just imagine what you can do with this beautiful paper. So there's lots of these big wide ones. I'll just kind of flip through them because who doesn't like looking at this, right? So this looks like another of that hard water effect because I see the same crackling here, and ooh, look at that. How subtle but beautiful. And then there were some littler strips too. So these were the little guys. I won't go through all of them. I'll just show you a few more. But yay, right? They're so pretty. Like, I could not resist. Look at this one. Yummy, 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 yummy. And I love marbled paper, you know, but like all of this kind of stuff, this is why I often talk about, like, you know, you can't do everything yourself all the time, right? Like when you make a journal or when you're doing a project, it really does help to have some things that are made ahead of time so that you're not having to literally make everything and it takes forever to finish your project. So let me just move these for a moment. We'll get all this paper out of here. Okay. Then let's take all this. I'll just set it all to the side so that I can have a clear desk. Okay, so then the paper trail also had these paper assortment bags. So I thought, who doesn't like to be surprised? This looks fun. So I grabbed one of them. These bags were $15 and they felt quite generous to me. So let's just take a look at what we got. So a little orange piece, a sparkly little blue, some pink. Oh, this is an envelope. Look at that. And it even has a glue spot and another envelope. Love it. Oh, a few envelopes. Okay, that's just a bonus. I didn't even know they had envelopes. I like that. Pretty cool. Very cool. Oh, that's nice. Yes. Another envelope. These are just going to be so perfect. There were also a lot of shops that were selling like the bits and bobs that you can add into making your own handmade paper. And the Paper Trail was telling me that they do like small workshops. So they said, you know, if you had a couple of friends, you know, get 3 people together and I'll do a workshop back at our home studio, and that's sparkly. It would be a lot of fun. I said, oh yeah, that could be kind of fun sometime. And then the larger papers, so some nice kind of neutrals that have great texture. That's interesting. Some sort of paint swirling going on that one. This one is neat. So the front, we have a little bit of pink here, and it's mostly blue with some sparkle. And the back is sort of all that pink. There's more pink with some painty bits. That almost looks like a face. But I will be cutting this up probably, so that's a really pretty peach. Oh, and it has a ginkgo leaf there. How lovely. Oh, I love the texture in this one. Yes. Looks like they have a lot of fun just playing with paper here. That's a really nice, like, light kind of peachy tone. Nice textures. Super sparkly. More sparkles. I like the gray. Oh, really nice texture, very natural feeling. Okay, how nice. Okay, so that is all that beautiful paper. And maybe what I'll do while I'm here is take a look and see if any of these would go in the journal I'm currently working on. I think this red envelope would for sure. Yeah, that would be nice. So let's set that aside. We'll put that in my current journal. There we go. All right. So I think I will set all this aside, and yeah, that is the extent of my shopping spree here, my little spree. It wasn't too much of a spree, but it was fun. I saw a lot of journals, lots of like nice binding of beautiful threads on, you know, visibly bound journals and that kind of thing. I didn't pick up any journals because I just didn't need to. And I think these days my desire for journals tends to be more in the artisan junk journal kind of style rather than just your typical like plain paper journals with beautiful bindings, even though those are obviously quite functional and beautiful. Nothing against them, but I think we go through phases, right, where we want to do things in a certain way. So that's it for me for now, and I need to put everything away. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit from the Printing Expo. This is my first time going. I just randomly saw it, I think like on Instagram or something, and I was like, hey, that's cool. And as soon as I told my husband about it, he's like, you need to go to that. That'd be a great day for you. So that's exactly what I did today. So have a beautiful day, and thanks for hanging out with me. I am going to take a nap. Bye.